So we are finally entering Lillehammer in Norway, and we are just going to... What the fuck? Seriously? Okay. Oh well, we got past it, so now it's time to park the... wow, I'm flying. Thank you, Pro Mods. Oh well. We'll fix it. Like... Okay, that is almost like a standing ovation kind of... Oh well. That's not what this is about at all. This is about the SCOT A2HD by Smarty. So normally this is not part of what I do when I do a mod review. I don't ever go through the configuration in the way that I'm doing it right now, but for this truck I just have to, because I can't possibly sit there and just name all the engines available for this truck. It's impossible. And please note that all the things you see here, all the engines you see here, is for this truck. They are part of the mod. Same goes for the gearboxes here. They are part of the mod. They are not... They are due to me having a ton of other trucks installed. They are all part of this mod. And that's the significant thing about Smarty's A2HD. It's just full of incredibly fantastic accessories, gearboxes, engines, paint jobs. Told you. So the interior, it's yellow, and the paint jobs, well, isn't that just fantastic? Isn't it pretty? Look at it. That's what I preferred to go with. Well, you could go. Please note that those aren't named in the way you are used to, because they are not part of what SCS provides. They are, even though it's just green, it's his paint job. It's fantastic. Simple, logical. It is what you would expect from something built in the late 90s. You could have something like that from the factory. It feels genuine. And that's a word I'm going to use a lot in this video, because Smarty's mod is genuine. Accessory wise, exterior, just perfect. Yeah, there's a lot of different bumpers, and there's not that many differences between them. Just to clarify how many there are. There's not that many differences between them, but it's, again, it feels like it's something that you could get from the factory. It doesn't feel like something you could buy out of Walmart at some point. It feels like this is what they could offer you. So again, this is the SCOT A2HD version 105 by Smarty. And it is perfect. Smarty, he's a genius. And I'll get to why, you'll see. The SCOT A2HD version 105 is developed for ETS version 1.26, but it still works beautifully in ETS 1.28. And you buy it from the DAF, the DAF dealer, because why not? You have to buy it from somewhere. And the real-life SCOT A2HD was produced between 1976 and 1980 for a company named Irving. And I'm a European, and I had never heard of Irving before, and perhaps you haven't either. So let's just say that Irving is a fucking big company doing, among other things, oil and gas. When you decide to or at least end up building over 1,100 trucks in Nova Scotia to be used mainly by your own company, by your own employees, or at least from what I've seen doing research on this truck, at least 40% of the trucks were used by Irving, and it's different to other companies. But also authorities and other companies and even the Canadian military use some of these trucks. The SCOT A2 we are driving here is the second generation A2. There was also a Type B and Type C. They made three different series. And I don't know anything about the B series. I haven't found anything about it. And I don't care, and I haven't found anything about, well, I've found very little about the C series 2, but again I don't care because this is the A-type, so focus man, focus. The first A model, the A1 and A1 HD, used a Ford cab. The A2, this one, however, uses its own cab. And despite being built in a relatively small number, 1150 or so, the SCOTs were a pretty common sight around Canada, and some of these were used even into the 90s. Unfortunately, today, 2017, most of them seems to be gone, even though there are still a few of them out there. And I found a ton of old pictures of this, and yeah, this is what it looks like. Unfortunately, I haven't found one single video of the real deal, and that kind of proves how rare this truck is. So back to the interpretation of the SCOT A2HD. I think I've said it already. It's almost perfect. It's just as good and perhaps even better than some of the SCS trucks, the SCS owned trucks. The dials and buttons are working, at least those that SCS have provided telemetry for. The sound of the horn is genuine. The engines have their own sounds. I don't know if you have noticed it, but when you change gears, the gear lever has its own sounds. It has everything you could possibly want from a vintage truck. It has a ton of engines and gearboxes, lots of paint jobs and accessories, and to me, this is very important, you have the proper accessories. This truck do not have any bunkers accessories or custom 21st century aftermarket bullshit. It feels genuine and authentic in every aspect. Sure, there are flaws with it. There's no one inside the truck when I'm looking at it from the outside. But then again, I'm outside of the truck, so who should be inside of it? If you turn around and look out through the back window of the truck, you can't see your truck. But again, is that really where your eyes should be? Shouldn't they be looking out of some other windows? And talking about gear lever, when I change gears, the gear stick doesn't move. But you know, I mean, I'm sitting here now. I can't see the gear lever anyway, so who cares? Now, finally, you may ask yourself, why the hell are we doing in the middle of nowhere, out in the woods, hauling in nothing? And the simple reason for that is that in my imagination, this is where this truck belongs. I know it was used on highways and on roads all over Canada, but this kind of truck, I imagining it hauling timber, a lot of timber. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a timber haul out of the woods, so I thought let's just take this truck for a drive through the woods, imagining that it is on its way to pick up timber. With that said, I have tested a bunch of different trucks before, and seriously, none of them comes even close to being the real deal compared to this one. So Marty, if you ever see this, I salute you, buddy. This truck, you've made a fantastic job creating it for us to drive. This is definitely a keeper, and I wish at least most trucks were even half as good as this one is, because that would be a major step up for us. And with that said, thank you very much guys for watching, and until next time, take care, bye bye.